So, a little girl who was born as a firstborn child to a set of loving parents actually had a baby sister born sometime later. And the baby sister was sickly and so required extra attention from mom and dad. Now, the firstborn girl, she became a little sensitive to that. In fact, a little bit resentful, feeling like maybe they didn't love her as much as they loved the other one. Um, this new kid on the block seemed to be taking all their attention, and she didn't understand the dynamics of what was going on. She just felt it was unfair. And the first time dealing with a sense of injustice, that was like a catalyst in her life. It shaped how she thought about things, shaped the trigger, I guess, of feeling unwanted or unloved, even to the point of her relationship with God. A root of bitterness actually grew up in her every time she was faced with something that seemed unfair or seemed unjust. And God then had to root that out, no pun intended. Well, maybe a little bit. Had to root that out by taking her back, in a sense, to that first time when that first wound took place. It was like the Lord reminded her of the pain of that first wound. And it was in that place that the Holy Spirit, in his very gentle way, and he's known as the Comforter and the Counselor, brought healing through the power to forgive. The first step of restoration and healing is revelation, that there's something to be healed. And forgiving her mom and dad, forgiving her sister, even though her sister maybe had no idea. Maybe mom and dad had no idea, but extending that forgiveness from the heart made it very real, and experiencing the grace that God had for her, grace to be able to love and forgive, brought forth good fruit in her life. I remember as a 35-year-old husband, father, in ministry, life was pretty good, and God surprised me one time with a dream. Marcy and I were in Victoria. We were in a hotel room, and I get a dream, and the dream setting is actually the same setting. It's in the hotel room, and it's at the same time frame. And standing at the foot of my bed is an angelic being. Now, I didn't really click into the fact that it was an angelic being until after I woke and I was pondering it, and you'll see why. So the dream is set there, and I wake up in my dream, and this angel says, "God is healing you." So in hindsight, it was an angel said it, because he didn't say, "I am healing you." It said, "God is healing you." And therefore it was a messenger, an angel telling me, God is healing me. But I didn't think I needed healing. So my response was, from what? Now immediately I was taken back. He didn't say anything, but I was taken back to, he did say something. He said, from rejection in grade 5. And then I knew exactly the point of contact, what he was saying. This was a time when I was a new kid into the school, and 3 guys roughed me up one lunchtime. And they kind of bullied me into a place of avoiding attention at all costs. My previous school, I was a class clown. This school, I was shut down from being myself. I just tried to shut up and avoid any kind of attention, avoid being noticed. But here I am, 35, and I remember thinking about this in my dream. I was 35. I'm 35. I'm an adult. I don't need, what does that have to do with who I am now? And so I said to this messenger, but why? Now, without answering me in great detail, the messenger just said, from now on, you'll have more boldness in preaching. And then it was over. Now, looking back, I I started to understand what was going on here. And it's interesting to note that he said, God is healing you, not God has healed you. It was a process and still is a process of God healing me from rejection in grade 5. And I realized this was rejection in grade 5. It wasn't any other particular incident that took place in any number of grades. It was this particular rejection in grade 5 that really shaped me, caused me to be a certain way, and caused me to actually not be me. And so when God was giving me and is still giving me this more boldness to literally be me in my preaching even. And over the years, as I pondered this, I realized he dealt with a root of insecurity in my life based on this rejection that I had no idea was affecting me. But surprise, surprise, the God who is a little bit smarter than I am actually knew that I needed healing to fulfill the role that he had called me to. God dealt with that root of insecurity by bringing back that original wound. And God can do that to you as well. God can help you, shape you, bring healing to you, no matter what you've been through. Now, you got to let him. You got to allow God into the deep places, the dark corners of your soul in order to really allow him to do that. He is a wonderful counselor. And the only reason he ever brings up anything like pain in your life is in order to heal you. He's not trying to make you feel bad or bring pain. He's trying to heal you. In fact, Jesus called his Father the vine dresser in John 15:1, saying, I am the true vine and my Father is the vine dresser. What does a vine dresser do but literally lifts up and snips and prunes and shapes the vine, as it were, the branches. And we need to let him do that. We need to let him come along and snip, snip, prune, prune, cut, cut. Even though it might hurt, he's bringing forth, he's shaping you into a fruit-bearing plant that he has in mind. Let me picture one of those bonsai tree cutters. They're shaping to what they have in mind, what God has in mind. That's what he wants to shape you into. It's not to harm you. It's to make you a better human being. In fact, in Hosea 6:1, it says this, come, let us return to the Lord, for he has torn us, but it's that he may heal us. He has struck us down, and he will bind us up. Now that word for the word struck, he is struck, literally means to wound or to kill. When the Lord cuts, shapes, strikes us, which is the Hebrew word nakah, and it literally means to wound, it is to heal. It's like a doctor cutting in order to bring healing. It's to make us better human beings. So when you want to be better, you want to be more like Christ, you want to walk in his ways and bear good fruit, trust the vine dresser, trust the gardener who has your very, very best in mind.